What's up guys, happy Monday. I hope you had a great weekend, and today I'm gonna tell you something that you haven't really heard me say before. I think it's time to look into altcoins. So let's take a look why I am saying that. What's my plan and what altcoins am I actually looking at? So welcome to the FOMO Factory. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Smack the like button, blah, and turn on the bell notification of course as well. Now the crypto market is doing something different this time. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to show you, because altcoins are looking a lot better, but it's now actually, in my opinion, time to maybe start really looking at buying. And I was already dollar costing a little bit just because, you know, you don't want to be all in, but you also don't want to be all out. But maybe it's time to you know, take some more positions into altcoins. And I know you guys love that. It's funny because whenever I talk about altcoins, my yesterday's video had way more views than any other video, and the video about 10 altcoins ready to 50x, way more views as well. It's just like people really love altcoins and it's understandable, but I won't give you, look, if once there is a good bull run where I actually think that some micro caps and low caps are going to blow up, then we're gonna talk about that all the freaking time. However, I'm now not going to talk too much about specific altcoins if I still don't think the time is right, just because I can get some extra views off of it or whatever. We want to make some actual money by investing in crypto. All right, now what am I looking at exactly? Well, the thing is that Bitcoin is, let me get a cleaner chart for Bitcoin. Here we go. So Bitcoin is still holding up pretty okay, right? If we put it on the daily right here, you can see we are still sitting around 30K. We were sitting well above 30K for a while. Now we're sitting a little bit below it. But overall, if we look at how the range is looking for Bitcoin, then it's kind of like from here to you know, here, give or take. That's the range that we're in, right? If we put it on the 4-hour chart, you can see a little bit better. We are ranging between these levels, and we are now at nothing else than the lower side of the range. So if people now say like, oh shit, we came down, it's below 30K, my psychological level hit it, and it's going to shit, like nothing really changed, right? For now, at least. I mean, the only thing that has basically changed is on the smaller time frame. We are now below the bull market support band. But on the other hand, on the smaller time frame as well, the stochastic RSI has a nice reset, and we are now oversold again, right? For a while already, while Bitcoin did not drop that much. So it basically means that whenever the stochastic RSI is going to the upside again, Bitcoin has the room left to really go up as well. Now, that's Bitcoin on the shorter time frame, looking fine if you ask me. It's sitting above the 54-hour moving average when you put it like that. So not bad for now, not bad for now. Who knows what today is going to bring, right? But it's definitely okay. If we look at the daily time frame, it's beautiful what Bitcoin is doing. Before we jump into altcoins, I mean, you want to know how the big daddy Bitcoin is behaving here, right? The bull market support band, as the name suggests, it supports the asset in a bull market, and otherwise it's more like a bear market's resistance band. That's what you can see, right? That green and red line, these are the moving averages, and whenever we go down, we get rejected. So this is really, and I'm going to give you a lot of content about trading as well. I made a trade on Solana last night, almost 300% up, was crazy, and it was kind of an easy trade. And I'm going to show you a lot how you can trade, because then it doesn't really matter what the market is doing. If the market goes down, if the market goes up, if you know how to trade the market, simply because you know how trends work, how resistances work, how support lines work, how higher highs, how higher lows, lower highs, lower lows, how that works. then you can make money regardless if the market is going up or down. So I'm gonna drop a lot of information about that on this channel as well. I really think that's the most valuable content you can see, because that applies in every certain market, and you do not have to wait for a bull market, you know, to finally make money. I mean, we can make money in this market right here while nothing basically happens. Anyway, back on topic. The bull market support band is really driving Bitcoin up. We went down, we got support right here, and now we're up again, right? So if the bull market support band keeps going up like maybe, I don't know, this, then it's definitely possible that Bitcoin just, you know, goes down. But as long as it finds support, we good. Right? Once we are really starting to break that and then, you know, come up and find it as resistance, then the structure is changing, right? Here we broke down below as well, and we fell hard, right? Once we break it, we fall hard. But once we got back up, was not resistance, right? We broke above it in one candle, and we continued our way up. Right, so you know, you don't want to be too fast with your trades or investments. You want to see how that's performing actually. But for now, overall, the story here is that Bitcoin is being strong. I mean, if you look at this chart, right, what do you see? That goes for investing, trading, whatever, but it's making higher highs and high lows, right? We have a high, 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 right? And if it was kind of a mini black swan kind of thing right here, right? But if you do not count that, the overall trend is low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. So as long as Bitcoin closes well above $28,000, I'm not concerned, because that's just a higher low, right? And that's a continuation of the upwards trend. Now, like I said, it's about altcoins, of course, and Ethereum is a beautiful example right here, because Ethereum is back at Bitcoin is back at 0.07 right now, while we were sitting at 0.062 just a couple days ago. So Ethereum had a crazy run right here, right? And Ethereum is kind of the driver of altcoins in general. So Ethereum is doing well. But not only Ethereum, overall the altcoin market is doing well. And I'm going to show you one chart why, which is the reason why I say that it's time for me to start consider buying altcoins. Before I'm going to show you that, I'm going to show you another chart that well, also kind of tells me that. And that's the Bitcoin dominance. The Bitcoin dominance, it's beautiful, beautiful. How this played out is so perfect, right? I said a lot on this channel, like we will break out of this range eventually, right? We've been ranging for 2 years between 39 and 49%, give or take, right? We've been ranging, and at a certain point we will break. But what I also said is, will it be this time? I don't know. I don't think so. So I've drawn this line I don't know, a couple weeks ago. And I will keep this line right here just to see how it plays out. And it's not the exact timing, but more of the path that we are going to follow. Because what I think is this. We saw the Bitcoin dominance going up. So that means that Bitcoin is outperforming altcoins, right? So if this goes up, your altcoins are not doing so well, especially not compared to Bitcoin, right? But this was going up mainly because Bitcoin was going up. Right? And if it goes down, then it's usually because Bitcoin is going down. Not all the time, because here it went down while Bitcoin was going up. So that was a good mini alt season, right? But now what we're seeing is that the dominance got rejected in the same area again. And overall, I still think that this trend is still in play. Right, this complete range right here is still in play, and this rejection right here kind of confirmed it for me. We had a wick, right? We tried, but it was very weak right here, and we got a very, you know, good red candle coming after that. So this is really showing some weakness for the Bitcoin dominance again, which is bullish for altcoins. Now, you have seen some altcoins going up already. while this move right here on the Bitcoin dominance wasn't that spectacular, if you see how the complete range is looking, right? I mean, off of this wick, we're down 3%, but the overall range is like 18%, so it could be way more. If we go down here, you see altcoins doing very well compared to Bitcoin, right? And compared to dollar, that really depends on what Bitcoin dollar is doing, so I can't speak for that. But overall, my expectation still stands, now even more, is that we get rejected, we will come down, we will try once again, get another rejection, we'll come down, and then go up around mid-2024. Why do I think that? Well, again, because the Bitcoin dominance lately is really following Bitcoin, right? And I expect that Bitcoin will have the big breakout, and I'm not talking about this rally that we have just seen, I'm talking about really the start of the bull market. I think that will happen in mid-2024. And why do I say that? Well, this blue line is the halving, right? And that's give or take right here. That's an estimation. But always, after the halving, it takes a little time, and then Bitcoin takes off, right? Here as well, after the halving, takes a little time, and Bitcoin takes off. Now, therefore, I've drawn this yellow line as well, because usually it takes around 2 months, and then Bitcoin takes off. So that's around May, June 2024. So my expectation as well is that the Bitcoin dominance will really break out in May, June 2024. That's my expectation, and I can and probably will be wrong about that, but you know, that's my plan. You have to have a plan, right? And I'm putting most of my money into that plan, and I'm also prepared for if things go a little different. But we can trade this perfectly. We can trade this so well, because if it now goes down, let's say you are in altcoins right now, great. If it goes down, your altcoins will be worth a lot against Bitcoin. So here, if we are around this area, I will put my altcoins back into Bitcoin. Then if we go up again, right, then I'm doing it the other way around, well, the other way around again. And here I will make sure that I have a lot of Bitcoin, so that if Bitcoin really takes off, I'm making money on my Bitcoin, then at the key resistances where we are by then, I will put it back into altcoins, and then when the alt season starts, then we're gonna make a lot of money together, right? People already say, like, okay, if this move is happening, that's a big alt season, huge alt season, or whatever. You know, yeah, and I always said, like, that's not an alt season, right? Technically, it is an alt season, of course, right? Because an alt season is when altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin. That's the definition of an alt season. So if the Bitcoin dominance is going down, that's where altcoins outperform Bitcoin. So yeah, that technically is an alt season, but I think the word is pretty big, right? It's pretty big to say alt season, really. It's like, it will be good for alts. Definitely, but a real alt season will happen when we see a candle like this, right? And before we can come down that much, we first have to come up a little bit. So, but overall, this is looking bullish for altcoins, and I am like you maybe have seen, doing a challenge where I try to turn 0.1 Bitcoin into 1 Bitcoin purely by trading this, right? So forget about the dollars, forget about the money. I'm purely doing that challenge. You know, dollar value, I'm already up, but I try to not give a shit about the dollar value, right? I'm looking at the Bitcoin value. So if I switch this over to Bitcoin, you see that I'm now sitting at 0.12 Bitcoin, right? So I'm up a little bit, especially on AVAX, a little bit on Link, a little bit on Sushi. Gala hasn't really changed, but that's purely by this little move right here. And I didn't even buy the top, right? I bought it at 47.7 or so. So here, right? So this little move of well, 1.5% already made me 0.02 Bitcoin, right? Let alone if you can trade this whole thing, right? Then it's pretty doable. So yeah, again, if you want to follow my trades or just stick to the channel, but there I'll make sure to leave a link to my wallet in the description down below. It's all on-chain, so you can follow it right there as well in all transparency. Now about altcoins, what I said, because yeah, this is my longer term expectation. But why do I think now it's a good time to look into altcoins? That's because of the total three. I said before, like if you look at Bitcoin, we were in this downward trend, right? Sorry for all the drawings, but this yellow diagonal line, right? We were in this trend, we broke out, retested, went up, right? If you look at the total crypto market also, we were in this downward trend, we broke out, did not even add a retest, but we went up a lot, right? But the total three did not do that yet. However, now it did. And that's what I said last week somewhere, I don't know what exact video, is when we were here, let me put it on the daily. When we were here somewhere, I said, I'm not buying yet, right? I'm not buying yet. Why? Because now I missed out on this whole move. Whoa! I missed out on a 4% move, goddamn. Well, that reward is not worth the risk for me, because if you look at this trend right here, right? Rejection, rejection, rejection. And we were sitting there again, right? The chance is very high that the trend will continue and that we will go down, right? Like I drawn it right here, we'll go down and go up. So I said, this is my expectation, right? I also said, like, if you feel like you want to buy altcoins, don't buy them right here. Wait for a clear breakout, right? Why? Because then you are not fighting this resistance anymore. And if we are following Bitcoin, then it's purely simple that we break out, we retest, and then we go up. And on the retest, you can basically buy at the same level, well, even lower than here, right? Because what if we got rejected right here? Then you just bought the resistance, you bought the top, and you would have gone down a lot, right? Now we broke out, we retested it, and instead of this being resistance, it's now support. And then you actually can go up. So for the total three, I expect kind of the same. We break out, and it's usually not like straight to the moon, right? It's not, right? It's not that it's going to do this. At a certain point, I expect a retest. Might not be perfectly on this line, maybe before, right? Maybe we will retest right here and then go up, right? But then you at least do not have this problem as a resistance anymore. So when I look at the daily chart on the total three right here, you see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 closes above that line already. The more closes above that line, the more confirmation that we actually broke out, right? Now, it's also very bullish that we are above the 50-day moving average. We are above the bull market support band. And it's possible that we will retest. Look, I mean, if the bull market support band does something like this, whatever, it's possible that we just retest on the bull market support band, right? Yeah, then you do not get the chance to buy here, but here. But come on, man. Again, this little difference is definitely worth of letting go of this complete risk. Right? It's about risk reward. If you feel like I'm a DJ and I don't care, man. If I lose it all, fine. But I want to get the lowest entry. You know, all right, cool. I want to play it a little safe though. I'm not here to lose my money, to be honest. I'm here to gain money. But altcoins are finally looking good. Now, like I said, I do expect a short-term rejection, purely because usually we retest. Plus, you see these red lines right here. Right now, what is that exactly? That's this major horizontal resistance that we're sitting at. Right, major horizontal. So we had support here, and you have to remember that's with trading. Previous support is future resistance. Previous resistance is future support. What do I mean? This red line, this lower red line, You see this resistance, for example, right here. You see this resistance here. You see the resistance that we are sitting right now. If we are breaking above this and we come down, then this will probably be support, right? Because it is that level, but we are now above it instead below it. So that's something that you need to know, of course. Now, I expect that we will have some trouble right here. Then again, if Bitcoin manages to not fall that hard while the Bitcoin dominance keeps on going down, I do think that altcoins will perform very well. And it's a good time to get into altcoins in that case. I don't expect, like, again, an alt season. Like, there are, don't get me wrong, there are altcoins that if we see this move down and Bitcoin doesn't crash in the meantime, there are altcoins that will do great, 3, 4, 5x probably. But if you have been in this market for more than one cycle, you know what a real alt season is. That's not a 3, 4, 5x. That's a 3, 4, 5x overnight. Multiple nights in a row. It's crazy. It's insane. If you ever witness that, you know that feeling? That's sick. That's sick, right? So that's for later. That's not going to happen this year. That we really need a full-blown bull market for that. Definitely. Now, I also want to say one thing. And that's this, that if you look at the total 3 right here, look, I mean, this is what altcoins did last cycle, right? We went from the bottom to the top, on average a 40 x, right? Or that's even more than a 40x, but a 4,000% move for the total 3. But that's including stable coins, so that's around a 60x on altcoins in general, right? From the bottom to the top. Now, can we expect the same thing right now as well? Look, the difference is that if you look at the last cycle, look what altcoins did. Altcoins went from the top to the bottom, right? And they fell 92%. 92%, right? In the last cycle, if you thought you were getting wrecked in this bear market, you haven't witnessed the previous one, bro. That's where you got wrecked. 92%. That's insane. You lost everything, right? Because if we compare it to what happened this time, it's a big difference. Right? Because from the top to the bottom, it's 74%. And you might feel like, yeah, that other 80%, 18%, that's not a big difference, bro. We went from 1.3 trillion to 280 billion. If we went down 92%, that would have put us here, 88 billion, right? 88. Well, the difference between 88 billion and 280 billion, that's another 4x down, to put it like that, right? So if you started with $1,000 and here you ended up with $200, right? And you feel that's bad. Well, in the last cycle you would have had $50 left out of your 1,000. That was bad. So my point is, we went up here very hard. But it's mainly because we first came down very hard, right? Altcoins did not crash that hard yet in this bear market, right? So we probably won't see a similar bounce as well. So talking about a lot of people, I hear them talk about, yeah, Cardano did 100x last cycle. If it does 100x right now, it's going to be worth $40 or so, you know. Yeah, but it's not comparable. So don't set the bar too high, because that's what gets you wrecked in a bull market as well. Because if you buy a coin and you think it's going to do 100x, so you don't sell it after it did already a 50x because you think it's going to do more, yeah, then you can get yourself wrecked as well, because if it then comes down, then you ride that wave for nothing. And that's definitely not the best feeling on earth. I can guarantee you that. But But you know, overall, enough preaching about that. Overall, the total 3, it did break out. But I do want to say this. It won't be the first time that it would have a multiple week fake out and comes back into the pattern again as well. Okay, so still be a little bit careful with that. Keep it in consideration. I am, and if you already went all in like 10 minutes ago because I talked about this, then maybe you should be a little, you should work a little more on your patience. Because it's a good confirmation. It's a positive sign. It's the most bullish sign that we have seen in the altcoin market since the bear market started, literally. But it's never 100% guarantee. Okay, I don't know if we have some look. Yeah, a perfect example right here as well, right? We had the previous bear market. Let me draw that line a little more perfectly. Here we go. Yeah, so got the bear market, we got the rejection just like now, we got another rejection, we got a week above it, we got a week closure above it, and the next week we spent time above it as well, and then we went down below it anyway, and even after that we made a new low and even fell out of the trend at the downside of it, and that was the altcoin capitulation that made people money. That really made people money, and it found its support basically at the accumulation phase of the pre-bull market, if you know what I mean. So this right here was the kind of the accumulation phase, right? And that's where it found its support here as well. I'm not counting out that this is still going to happen, okay? I'm not saying that this won't happen, right? I mean, we had a fake out, the stochastic RSI was overbought, way overbought, right? And we fell right down below it. What do we see right now? With weak closure above it, but yeah, on the other hand, stochastic RSI also very overbought on the higher time frame. And it's not impossible, right? So, and if we find support at the accumulation phase of the previous, then we're gonna end up somewhere. I don't know, man. Here maybe. Well, I'm not. I don't want to talk about it. So, you know, that's what it is. I made a poll on in the Telegram group. Join that if you haven't. You can talk to us also on the YouTube community tab. Like, are you still in cash? And a lot of people luckily are, but a lot of people are not. They are already all in. Okay, I get that. You have a good chance of making money if this happens, but keep in mind that this is still possible. Okay, so my strategy, because I'm giving you mixed signals right here, I know, I'm like a borderline chick. My strategy is I'm not doing anything right now. I'm waiting because, and that's mainly because I already have some altcoins, right? If I would have nothing, I'll probably DCA already. But I don't do anything right now. I wait for it to come down. And if it there seems to retest, I'm gonna buy it right there, right? Then I'm gonna buy it same level basically as before the breakout. So same entry. And then I'm gonna ride the wave, right? Because if it's, and I'm waiting for that clean retest, okay? Because otherwise it's going to play out like I just said. Then it's being a fake out, breakdown below, no retest, and then you feel like, oh, I'm gonna buy here, but then you just ride that wave. So if you feel like, okay, I'm going to play this, wait for the retest. Wait for the retest, okay, please. I want to talk about altcoins specifically, but this video is too long already. So tomorrow I will drop a video about specific altcoins that I am going to buy whenever this happens. Because there are actually some strong altcoins, and you can just pick any altcoin because the market is bullish. There are always altcoins that outperform and altcoins that underperform, so I'm going to talk about that. If you like that, please stay tuned for tomorrow. And I have a video about how to stake your Delysium tokens, and I'm going to drop it later today, right? This video is coming out as soon as possible, and another video is coming later today. So thanks for watching. If you like the content, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notification. I'm still here every single day to take us through the market and to make a lot of money together, hopefully. So please stick with me. See you guys very soon.